Okay, this is Aaron with Exalted Lamb 1 again, and I didn't think I'd be making a video this quick after this last one because that one took a lot. Took several hours for me to put things together. However, I was looking at a bunch of things this morning. I didn't have much sleep last night from all this stuff, and I was looking at some things this morning on the Mimic map, and I saw something, and there's someone that puts out a morphed or kind of a version of the Mimic map that basically records the Mimic map in a different way. And so I don't know exactly how that works, but I am seeing stuff, and this is what some of these guys like Dutch Sense and Dabu7 and Mr. MBB333 are seeing. And in this morphed map that Dabu was talking about, this guy is putting together, these anomalies are coming up more. And I think what that is it's actually recording things that they're pulling out. The government is basically recording these things. This is all time lapse. You know, it shoots through the hours like seconds, and it's time lapse. And then they've done this so many times. NASA does this with shots of the sun and all kinds of stuff, and they take frames out. And I don't know how this all works exactly as far as why they miss certain things, but they end up missing certain things because it's a lot of frames to go through, I think, or something like that. But with these morph, they're able to see frames of things, and they reveal more things than you get on the regular feeds that the government gives. So, however that works, like I said, I don't know, but it is showing these anomalies. So, like I showed on my video a couple of videos ago, and I deferred it to BP Earthwatch, and he explained it very well. And he showed this. So he showed how Hurricane Lane was bearing down on Hawaii, and it was going, 2 miles an hour and everything. And then it looked like it might break off, even though I predicted it would go into the islands and a little bit more, which it did. And I never really said how powerful it would be. I didn't really care. I always talked about the rain and that it was about getting close enough to rain a ton, and which we're probably at 50 plus inches now. I don't know what it is. It's some ridiculous. So he was talking about this anomaly right here, basically exploding or knocking down the hurricane, and which it did in just a short time. Went to a tropical storm, and he showed the footage. You can look back at that video, a couple of videos ago of mine. He showed the footage of it just basically decimating it at that particular time, which is about midnight UTC time. And so he showed this. Okay, so let me show you this next thing here. So basically, let me go back actually. Let me go back to this. So this is when Hurricane Lane was kind of going west, and then this thing zapped it, and you see it's a spiral. And as we see on this other footage that I showed before with Dabu 7 and Mr. MBB, it seems to be coming from Antarctica. They have another machine down there, some kind of microwave weapon or something that is down there, and it's manipulating and moving these storms. So it was going straight west and going up north a little bit, but then when that hit right here, then immediately, if you look at the video I showed, it immediately starts going up and migrating and spinning and hooking into Hawaii, basically. And then, as it's getting closer and closer, then this thing hits it. You see this anomaly right here. And then if you see the satellite imagery, it immediately starts to explode right at that time. Okay, so now I'm going forward here. So here's the recent Mimic information that's around that time of midnight UTC. But what I was finding is that it was showing this anomaly right here. Now I already know what this thing is because I know about HAARP, HAARP, this research program basically that's going on. They call it that in Alaska, but this is the model for these other weapons that they have. They have some in Europe. They have obviously this one in Antarctica, which really nobody knows about. Probably, I haven't found anybody that knows anything about it yet, but there probably is somebody out there. And this thing is coming from Alaska. And guess what? See where it's going right there? Check this out. It's going right up here. And what's that? See that on Google Earth or Maps? HAARP Research Facility right there. Now here we go. There it is. On this, basically right here, right where Alaska meets, pretty close to where Alaska meets Canada. even though it's cut off right here on the mimic map for a reason, probably. I'm sure, not probably, for a complete reason. And there it is, right where Canada meets, right there. There it is. That's just coincidence. Give me a break. And then this is a wave. It's a wave here. This is the HAARP wave. And so basically it's hitting this, and I believe it's part of that neutralizing. So this is a more credibility that this thing right here is reacting to that. And it's some other way that HAARP shows up, that wave. And so this thing from the bottom is activating it more, moving it, and this thing is neutralizing it or something for some reason. And I think what I said was when they couldn't control it anymore, it was moving away, they hit it with this, and then it would dissipate it, but it would cause it to spread out. And immediately it spread out more to the east over the island and caused more and more rain. Okay, I looked at the infrared as well, and it was doing that, and it has been for a couple days. Okay, so I want to show you that. So that's pointing right up there. That's where it is. Okay, and then what I noticed too is, see how this coordinates. So if you look at this section right here, I don't know, for some reason it helps me to remember, because this looks maybe like a teapot. Kind of looks like a teapot right there, a little bit right there, and Hawaii is right in there. Okay, now look at that. So as you see this wave, it looks kind of like a teapot, this formation of this orangish color and going into dark orange or burnt orange. Now look back here. Let's go back. Okay, we still have that same thing. Now watch this. Look, it's a teapot looking thing. Same time frame. But then I also have a time frame here. So I took shots of this time lapse on this mimic map right here. Okay, so here's when it first shows up. And it's actually 2 hours before even BP could see it, because it was only available to see for a brief time, for a second basically, on the mimic map that he could see at that time. But it actually showed up 2 hours before that UTC, so 8:24 at 8 p.m. I'm not 2 hours, sorry, 4 hours. Wow, 4 hours before midnight. That's 8 p.m. UTC. So 8 p.m. UTC would be 10 a.m. because 10 hours difference, 10 a.m. and Hawaii time. So that's 10 a.m. and it started changing at that point. But look, there's this wave here, this microwave or whatever this thing is exactly. I don't know if, I mean, some people understand it, but basically there it is. And then I'm going to show you how over hours. So that is 4 hours before midnight. And then right here it is. So there's a little bit of glimpse of it still right there. I zoom in on it here. You can still see a little bit of the wave. It's disappearing, right? But it's a little bit right here. And so I don't know how that all works and everything, but it is still somewhat visible. And that was 2 hours after midnight. So 2 hours into the next day. So that's a total of 6 hours that this thing was hitting over here to blow it apart, I guess. So it wasn't like immediate. Maybe it took some time for this microwave weapon, whatever this thing is. I mean, I can't remember all the details. I've looked at it and everything off the top of my head, but it's hitting this. So this is a process. And, I mean, are you kidding me? Look at this stuff. This is more evidence that are stacking on top of each other that these are not coincidences. Okay, I want to show this to especially the naysayers and people that don't believe in this stuff that's happening. We keep getting more and more evidence that this is actually going on. Okay, again, let me go right back to this one more time. So see where this is going right here. It's going up to this facility. I mean, that's just coincidence? I think not. And what we know about what HAARP's done and what scientists have said, and actually there was a couple of guys that actually were part of basically starting HAARP, and they know all about it. They have interviews about them, and then they were basically kicked off the project, and they do information. They put out books about this, what HAARP really is, and all that stuff, and how it sends these signals into the ionosphere, and it comes back down, and it can start earthquakes and weather events and all kinds of stuff. I might not be saying that all exactly correct, but it's something like that. So I just wanted to show you that these link up. Okay, this thing links up, this anomaly here links up with that at the same time. Look at this teapot looking thing. Okay, it looks like it has an eye and an eyebrow. Anyway, this helps me just to remember what it looks like. going over here. But actually, it shows the difference between when it started and when it ended, and how it's distorted a little bit. And so that's over a 6-hour period, roughly. And that's really great new information that shows what they are doing to manipulate this. So I just want to throw this out there real quick, and just more information on what they're doing. And listen, I don't know what's going to happen today or tomorrow. I don't know. I'm hoping nothing, but what the evidence is showing me is something may happen. So I don't know. Maybe nothing, but something eventually, I'm positive, will happen if he takes a few more days. And by the way, we have Hurricane Miriam forming, which is Mary. Are you kidding? Miriam really means Mary. And so that's the mother of the Messiah. And so it may be a few days from now when this thing goes close to Hawaii, and that's when it happens. I'm speculating about today and tomorrow because of the Krakatoa, but it could be a little bit longer, a few more days or something. I don't know. Okay, but this is going to happen. I'm 99% sure that there's something with Kilauea and the Helena slump and everything's going to happen. They put too much resources, too much time, too much into this whole thing. And like I showed you in my last video, it's a sacrifice and all this stuff. So here's more information on how this is manipulated. So this is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.